Hey, what's going on? It's Wally Lockard with Urban Grind Television, executive producer and founder. I'm also co-executive producer of the Booth Radio in Chicago. It's a syndicated radio show, and co-editor-in-chief of Urban Grind Lifestyle magazine. Urban Grind TV was a brainchild. Actually, my story goes back a little bit further. So I started, I grew up writing music, loving music, and like most kids, right, poetry and things. So I always had a secret love of music, and it's a lot to jump out and say I want to be in the music industry. That's like saying I want to be an astronaut when you're a poor Spanish kid from 18th Street in Chicago. I want to create something, an avenue or platform, so nobody goes through what we're going through right now with not having a lot of money or no money, and not being connected, right? Didn't know anybody. So we created Urban Grind TV. I remember I sat at the conference table in the other room and came up with the name, because I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? We're grinding, right? This is a hustle. This is what we do. If you want to make it in this business, it's a grind. You want guaranteed money, go work at a bank or something, because this is probably not the career for you. And I was like, but what, where do you hustle? We're in the city, we're urban. This is our culture. This is what we are. So it just fit. It was like Urban Grind TV, and it was crazy because I even heard I've heard some media moguls, say, man, that's a great name. That's an awesome brand. So we started Urban Grind TV, and 9 years ago, 2009, on a whim. I didn't even own a camera when I first started. I had did music for 9 years, so I didn't know anything about video production. I just knew I had an idea. I had a vision. I had been directing videos. I would hire somebody, but I was all on it. Hey, I want this, and I learned a lot. So we created something, and no camera. One of my good friends, my brother, man, I shout him out, Rock. He looked out for me because he loaned me a camera. It was a Sony VX2100. This is a standard definition. This is not even HD cameras, and at the time it was probably a $4,000 camera. It's a Sony. Right, and he probably didn't know my last name, and we didn't grow up together. But he felt something with me that he loaned me the camera, and I took good care of it. I had it for about a year before I could even buy my own. I want to show it the world through my eyes, what it would be like being a kid and going through. We were grown, a kid that loved hip hop. That's where I go back to. That's the core of this. What did you want to see? What access did you wish you had, and what industry do you wish existed in your city? That's what I wanted Urban Grind to be. That's the experience. So we started the show. I took the pilot in, and I pitched it, and they're like, well, what's it about? And I told them, well, we'll call you within 2 weeks. And it was a 58-minute show, and so I turned it in. I got back here to the studio. It was 56 minutes into it, and I got a phone call. And they called me, and they says, hey, can you do 12 more of these? And I was like, oh yeah. I'm I probably got 2 or 3 ready to go. And he says, all right, get back here. We got some paperwork. We got to talk. So that's how we started. And the twist to it is the guy who was doing it with me was a producer. He was established, does major productions. He had a family emergency, and he had to leave out of the country for 2 months. And I literally got a phone call hey Wally, my grandma's sick. I got to leave the country for a couple months and this and that. I'm okay, I'm sorry, man. What can I do? He says, I got it. He says, I'm just letting you know that all your footage and the stuff that we shot and it's not edited, he says, it's with my doorman downstairs. And you got to pick it up on the way to the airport. So I went over there and I picked up this vanilla envelope that had my future in it after 3 shows of great shows. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So I bought a MacBook Pro. No, it was a MacBook because I couldn't afford the Pro yet. I bought a MacBook, and I downloaded some footage, and I taught myself to edit. And I turned it in, and I got a call from the station hey, who edited this show? What happened to the other guy? That's literally the call I got, and I was honest with him. I said, listen, the guy who was doing it, he had all the credentials and everything, but he just left. He got a family emergency, but I really want this. If you'll work with me, man, I'll make this happen, please. And he called me up there, and he sat with me for 2 hours, and he showed me what I needed to fix. And it still took me a couple of episodes to get it all smooth, but I got it down. And I edited myself the first probably 5 seasons. of the television show. We're on 17 right now. John's probably been doing the rest. So we're 400 or 500 episodes in. 58-minute show every week from scratch. Commercials, music videos, content. Everything from midget bowling to Joe Jonas. So that's how I got into Urban Grind TV, and I know it's a long story, but it just shows the background. It was a need. It wasn't that I wanted to be in the TV business. You know, I wanted to be in the music business, and I am. But my avenue was different, and I created a value by being a value to other people. I got on there. I didn't just throw my friends and my label and my people on there. I didn't. I really looked for talent. I really built a network, and it was the grain. And when we started Urban Grind TV, it was called Work in the Streets. Like, that was our motto, because we were really out there, like, out, hitting the pavement everywhere. Anything that was going on, we were there. And we were not only there, you see how many people in the other room? 10 to 15 people. There'd be that many people at every taste, every festival, everything out there working. Not understanding how the city of Chicago, third biggest market, does not have an industry the way it needs to be. And we still don't. So that's what we're here for. I'm trying to change the culture here. I'm trying to be a part, just a link in the chain. That's it. Something to build on. And I really think that we have some of the most fascinated people, the most talented people here. Every genre, blues, freestyle, house. It's not just hip hop. And I think I want to share that with the world. And there was no way of doing it. So we made it. With the Fubu TV network, we were looking to fill the niche of the national audience. The people that didn't live in Chicago, that love Chicago culture, and they love our music, and they love our food, and they want to be. I wanted to spread the love. I wanted to spread the art, spread the culture. Let's show them our comedians. Let's show them our museums, our stadiums, our entertainers. Fubu did us that huge, tremendous honor of giving us a platform on a bigger scale. I had an opportunity with a actual network here in Chicago, season 1. I got a phone call, I got a meeting, I got paperwork, and they offered me a significant amount of money for Urban Grind Television to do it. Life-changing. Not like millionaire, but good money for a guy that didn't know it and did it on a whim. And what they says, well, look, we got to unurbanize it a little bit. And I'm just keeping it real. I'm telling you what they told me, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand, because I don't see color. Like, I honestly don't. I don't look at people. That is not what I'm for. That's not what eyes are for. So they're like, well, you know, if you had more of this, we feel like, you know, you're limited in money in that market because of sponsors and this and that. And I was like, no, you're not. Like, we spend money. Like, our urban market, like, there's big money. Like, we spend a lot of it. We spend all of it. Like, what we have, we do. And this is what we want you to think about it. And you know, you got whatever 5 days, 7 days, and you get back to the lawyer, and you let us know if you want to play ball. And I thanked them. You know, I think a few days later, I slept on. I thanked them. And I said, this is probably not the opportunity for us. And like, nobody, I don't think anybody's ever heard this story. This is exclusive I'm giving you guys. But the people that were around my circle at that time. So we passed on it because they were trying to change it, and they didn't see the beauty of it. And me saying that's like an infant, like, I just got it, I just made it. I know it's not at its potential, and you want to change it already. So we held on strong. So we worked, and the right opportunity presented itself where we had this show, and people are like, this is awesome. How can I get it over here? Why am I not getting it here? Because we're traveling, we're doing events around the country, and they're like, hey, we want to see you in Alabama, like Memphis, Tennessee. What's going on? You guys should get it out here. That's what I would hear, and I got tired of hearing it. So we pursued a situation, and it's like anything, you have to put up. So we send them stuff. We put them sort of content, footage, our track record. I'm sure they did research themselves before they would even deal with us. I can't imagine. And it took a little while to work everything out to where it's right, and it's a wonderful opportunity. I am humbled and honored to work with. Like, this is a global brand. I mean, they're, you know, how do you measure their contributions to the culture? It's huge. I grew up wearing FUBU. You asked me that. Like, I had a FUBU jacket. I was mad somebody burned it. It was a throwback. Somebody pushed it up against a heater and it burned. But like, I liked FUBU. I loved it. I love the For Us, By Us, and I'm excited about the opportunity to even be affiliated with something like that. And I'm gonna tell you what, we ain't gonna let them down. You know, we're gonna keep coming, and Chicago has so much to offer. So I'm just excited about this partnership and this opportunity to be out there and be seen and represent. And I think we've got incredible things. So I don't think they know what they did. They just let us out the box. I've never felt like I was a local show. I never felt for 9 years I was a Chicago TV show. I says, if we're competing, if we're talking competition, I was competing my whole life with BET and MTV and anybody that's out there. That was the level I knew we were playing on, and I knew once people seen it, they would see the value of it and the contribution, and they would pick it up. So from Urban Grind Television, which is our flagship show, we have our radio program syndicated across the country. It's like 15 states overseas. So we do radio. And within the radio show, we've got a sports show, UGTV Sports World with Rusty Blade. Like, they have their own thing, and they bring on MMA fighters and boxers. I've got Behind the Grind, which is my show that I do, and I talk to industry people and tastemakers, behind the scenes people I'm interested in, because I was never big on being an artist or being that guy. I like being the guy behind the guy. We got a cooking show, as I mentioned. We do a cypher, a battle rap. So I do things that I like. When I first started, I like to eat, I like to laugh, and I like to have a good time, and I like to hear music, and that's what I did. And I felt like, hey, as long as I'm not too specific, then other people might like this too. Absolutely. We got a couple of film deals we're working on right now, and we've actually got distribution lined up, some big artists, big names that we're gonna be producing and directing projects for. So and again, it's just people we worked with. Like, I'm nobody special. I'm not extra smart. I just work with people. I'm a good person. When I tell you something, I do it. I deliver, and I think real people always recognize real. There's, my good friend told me, he says there's thinkers and there's builders. I'm a builder. So you give me an idea, we come up with something, and we say, hey, I'll make it happen. The ideas are great. A lot of people, I have full of great ideas, but I'm more of an executioner. So I'm gonna do it. The future is definitely going digital. We're moving into an era of streaming services, video on demand, and that's what's great about the FUBU network, is that gives us the video on demand feature, so people can watch. That's how people are consuming content. If you're looking at numbers and statistics, people are consuming content on mobile devices. They're doing it on their off hours, on their time. There's not a traditional 9-to-5 schedule anymore. And if you talk millennials and other people, they're not on those hours, so they want it when they're on the train to work, or they're in the bathroom, or whatever they're doing. So you got to look at how people consume media, and it's the future. And I'm excited about being on these platforms. And we have like a Roku. This is another exclusive you guys are getting that's rolling out in the next week or two. So we'll have a Roku channel and smart apps and stuff like that. You'll be able to catch Urban Grind TV on multiple networks, on different networks. So this is the future. Like, I love it. I think it kind of levels the playing field a little bit, because it makes it more accessible. It makes it accessible for other urban grinds. That's what I want to do. I want to find Urban Grind TV in Cincinnati, Ohio. Like, that's the guy I want to meet today. I'm more excited about meeting him than an artist. Why? Because I want to work with him. I want to put him on with us, and I want to build. And I want to find the guy in Indiana, and I think that we can work together. I'm doing it now. We're doing it across the country, and it's just a little bit, but it's gonna grow. And that's our mentality, is that we're gonna build this industry. And and we already have people like Jazzo and Nature and EPMD, and people coming through the city, and they make a stop at Urban Grind. And what you see is they'll do the TV show with us, they'll do the radio program, they'll knock out verses. Like, all these dudes knocked out like music and songs while they're here, and then they go on to other places and other media outlets. So that's all I wanted to be, is I wanted to have that door open. So if they're watching, the door is open. We want them to reach out to us, because we're here. We have a platform and an opportunity for people to shine, and that's all we really want to do, is spread the love. You want to break into other markets, you got to have good content. Make sure it's creative, make sure it's original, make it's entertaining. And I think that if you get it, you got to work it. It might be 1 year, it might be 5 years, it might be 10 years. You might make your hit at 45. I don't know what your time scale is, but I never looked at it. I never kept track of what it's cost me, what the sacrifice has been. I just know that I'm blessed, and giving an opportunity to give people a platform and do it. And I'm excited about it. And I would tell those people one last thing is that you can't make money and excuses at the same time. So don't say you can't afford a camera. Don't say you can't afford to get there. You gotta be willing to work for it, you know, where you gotta work 2-3 jobs to support your love or your passion, just like you would do it if you had a child or family, right? You work to support them. Well, this is your baby. If you want to be in this, if you want it to grow, then you better be able to nurture it. And it takes time, it takes funds, it takes resources. So don't make excuses. The moment I knew like this was real and I had to do it, I think was the night I was sitting at that computer trying to teach myself to edit footage and pulling my hair out, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let this beat me. Like, this ain't gonna stop. Like, all this thing. Like, I made a promise. Like, I started something, I finish it. I think that was the moment I said, this is gonna be what I gotta do. And you don't see, if you go into this business thinking about money and fame, like, you're not gonna last, and you're gonna tap out, and you're gonna go get a job and do something else. I just did it because I loved it, and then once through the love, I realized that I had a need, I had a gap, there was something missing that I felt that, you know, without being prideful, that I felt like I could help fill. There was a need out there, and if I can't fill it, then maybe I can inspire someone else that'll help fill it. Maybe we'll do it together. But that's what I was looking for. I want to fulfill a need. There's great people out here. How do we hear them? Why don't they know about us? Why don't they know, like, the Chicago Music Awards been going on for 37 years in Chicago? Why has that not been nationally broadcast? Maybe it has before, I don't know. But why is it not now? We're Chicago. Like, we breed the best talent, A&Rs, executives, music producers. They all come out of our city, right? So why don't we have that? We're going to have it now. It's coming. I'm telling you now, I'm going to, all these festivals and things that we're doing, we're going to put them on a national platform. And we're still going to be in Chicago doing our show here too. Social media, as far as urban grind television is, I mean, it's important. I think it's probably better than it ever has. But it's cool because it allows you direct contact to people that you might not run into. Even if you're in the same event, you could be on the same stage that you might not ever get to. And you have a way to, like, message this person and say, hey, would you come do my show? Or, hey, you know, I want to do a verse with you, or hey, you know, how can you book me, or hey, can you listen to my music? And obviously it's a double-edged sword, but I think that it puts everybody, literally, it connects us. It gives us the opportunity. Now it can give you bad stuff, or it can give you good stuff, depending on what energy you project. So if you want to portray negative stereotypes and energy, then that's what you're going to attract. I'm a firm believer in it. So I want to project positivity. That's why we don't talk about guns. We don't do violence and stuff. You can express yourself. You can talk about it because that's your freedom of speech. That's your right, and that's your passion. And I don't want to squash that, but we just want to do it in a constructive manner, a manner that's going to build people up, not tear us down. Somebody would ask me, hey, what's the worst advice that you can give someone? Like, because people always talk about the good things, right? They don't talk. You learn more from your failures. You learn more from the things you do wrong. They teach us more than our success or our wins, right? So I think that more people need to focus on the failure because it teaches a tougher lesson. It leaves more of a lasting impression. And I would say, tell those people the biggest mistake they can say is no sometimes. Sometimes when you start out, you have to say yes to everything. When you get established and you get going, yeah, of course you're going to have to say, no, I can't, because you can't take on too much. But when you start out, you got nothing. What do you have to lose? What do you got to lose? What? Some pride? Some ego? Then you're not in the business for the right thing. If you were in the business for the right reason, because you love it, then you're not going to do that. You know, but say yes. Like, you guys got opportunity to see me in action a little bit. Like, I'll give you a shot. Like, hey, you got an idea? Let's try it. Let's do it. You know, I still say yes. Because it's a great opportunity. You can't be scared. You don't think about how. You got to have faith, right? We walk in faith. Don't think about how and technicalities, and don't think about it. If this is what you want to do, you're going to do it. We all got the same 24 hours, right, in a day. Is what you do with your time is what's important. And there's no excuses. It just doesn't work. You know, if I can do it, you can do it. There's nothing special. Like I said, it's just grind. It's just hustle. It's being a stand-up person when you meet them, make an impression, Be real with people and do what you say you're gonna do. Never overpromise and underdeliver. Always overdeliver. Give them more than what they asked for. You'll never lose. So you can check out Urban Grind TV at urbangrindtv.com. That's our website. On there, they can click on the television show. They can check out the magazine, which is Urban Grind Lifestyle Magazine. See, it's Urban Grind Lifestyle Magazine right there. Bam. Check it out. So they can check out Urban Grind Lifestyle Magazine, which is our quarterly publication. And we cover music, entertainment, industry, culture, and fashion. It's print, it's digital. They can get it at the Villa stores, some DTLRs, barbershops, online. It's free. Hit us up, man. I'll bring you some copies. You need some copies. Maybe not me personally, but we'll have somebody bring you out some copies to your stuff. And you can check out everything we got going on. Everything is at Urban Grind TV. Urban Grind TV. And then we got a toll-free number. They can hit us up. That's 888-380-1913. Hit the line up and get your grind up.